Like, I could go through my phone right now, and I probably have about 10 messages where I'm the last person to respond, and just nothing for years.
Yeah.
That's not
rude.
caring. That's not giving a... I like how that's like the most iconic clap ever.
Uh-huh. I love a good clap.
I know. I always put claps in my songs, and I'm like, oh, Mickey will appreciate this.
Because they're good. Hold on.
I love finding hairs of yours.
Yeah.
With different dyes on them.
Oh, I know.
Like, oh, this is from that phase.
You can tell how old something is, or like how recently something has been like moved around or whatever.
Based on what hair you get off of it. Yeah, those blankets had green hair on them.
Stop.
I was like, wow.
Wow, we haven't used those blankets in a minute then. I guess
honestly.
It's been hot though, to be fair. Okay.
You too? I know.
Yeah.
I just need like a breath. We walked up like 3 flights of stairs. Wait, how much is a flight of stairs? Or what's a flight of stairs?
I think 1 level.
1 level is a flight of stairs?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a story from Reddit, of course, and it's something near and dear to our heart. It's the Sweet Tomatoes proposal.
Oh, no.
Can I read this for everyone?
Yes, please do.
Mickey and I are like crazy in disagreements with the comment section on this post.
I feel like
I want to make sure, are we crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Is it us? Yes.
Of course, this is Am I the Asshole Relationships Edition.
Yeah.
I, 27 female, and partner, 27 male, have been together for 5 years. We met in college, and he is my soulmate. We get along, have similar goals in life, and I can see my future with him. We moved in together a year ago, and around our anniversary last week, he asked to go to dinner at Sweet Tomatoes. For those of you who don't know, Sweet Tomatoes is a buffet chain in the U.S. that shut down all locations after the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
A few years ago, one single Sweet Tomatoes reopened in Tucson, Arizona. My partner grew up going to Sweet Tomatoes and is very nostalgic about the place. I had never been, so I agreed to take a road trip with my partner to go to Sweet Tomatoes. I honestly love a good road trip to go get food.
I do too.
Like,
I think it's so fun.
Yes, that's how I feel about Zoli's for us. Love
Fazoli's. Love Fazoli's.
Love Fazoli's. I'm so excited. There's going to be a Fazoli's closer to us.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, my God. I forgot. It won't be like a 2.5 hour drive.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
That'd be nice.
As soon as we got there, I could tell something was off because my partner was acting a little nervous, but I thought that maybe I was misreading his emotions and he was just excited. Everything was going fine, and I thought the food was pretty good, but nothing to write home about. Honestly, I will say since they've reopened, it's fine. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I feel like the nostalgia of it sort of wore off because we've been there a couple of times, and now I'm like, oh, yeah, no, this is fine.
It's fine. It's how I remember it.
Yeah, it's not like life-changing, but it's perfectly respectable food.
Which is crazy because when it opened back up, the lines, hours. It would take you hours to get in there to eat.
You'd be standing outside, like, in the parking lot for, like, an hour waiting to get inside to wait in line.
Then when I thought my partner was getting up to get another plate, he stood up and proposed to me. Everyone in the whole buffet was watching as my partner was proposing to me, and I just stood there stunned. I pulled him aside and told him that I appreciate his proposal and that I really do want to marry him. I cannot accept his proposal because of where he was proposing. I couldn't help but feel like the proposal was a little bit selfish, as it was somewhere that only meant something to him. I know that Sweet Tomatoes is really important to him, and I love that he is so passionate about something, but I wanted him to propose somewhere that was meaningful to both of us. He was really sad, and the whole car ride home was tense, and we barely spoke. Now that we're home, things are still pretty awkward, and he seems distant. I feel really bad because I love him, but I just really did not want to get engaged at Sweet Tomatoes. So am I the asshole? I don't know. I don't feel like
this person is the asshole.
Every comment, like, be prepared for him not to propose. You're the asshole. You're the asshole.
You fucked up. You lost him.
You sound so selfish. This place meant something special to him, and clearly you are special to him. Proposing isn't about location. It's about the person you love asking to be their life partner. I'm sure he's devastated. Do you want engaged to a man you love, or do you just want a perfect story? At the end of the day, what do you want in life? Shit like that. I'm like, you know what though?
What in the pick me is that?
What in the pick me fuck? How, like,
I'm
how
sorry.
Does it,
I don't fuck with that.
People literally talk about the story as a whole.
Yes.
Like, that's not a new novel. Like, that is not a novel concept at all.
But also, wanting your proposal to feel like it is also about you is not weird or selfish, in my opinion.
No.
I think actually it's selfish to propose at a place that means nothing to your partner,
I feel like that's
but
way
means
worse.
something to you.
Yes.
Because you're proposing a lifelong, in theory, like, union.
Yeah.
Which is 2 people, not 1. So why, like, don't get me wrong. I think pulling somebody aside and like essentially like refusing their proposal in public, that's devastating.
That's
like,
awful. Yeah, that sucks to be the person in that position. Also,
yeah, that's really hard. And I think choosing to put your foot down about something that is important to you is not necessarily a bad thing, especially because for me, I think it raises some questions about like whether that is a pattern in the relationship generally.
Sure.
Like, does this person have a pattern of making things about themselves rather than about the partnership? And is this like maybe a good thing to put a foot down about early and say like, I want you to consider me in these big life moments? That's not a mean thing to do, I don't think.
I don't think that's a big deal. I don't see...
That's like a painful thing. But I don't think it's mean.
The comment section made me feel like I'm actually like crazy because I feel like that's not a high bar.
No.
Also, too, like, make no mistake, Sweet Tomatoes is not a romantic place.
No.
It is, at least in my opinion.
It's not.
And also...
It's a buffet, but it's also like salads and soups, right? It's not
like new and fancy. It's not It's not sexy food.
There's no like waiter service. I mean, there are people that come and like take your trays and stuff. But it's essentially just a bunch of little square wooden tables and booths just like crowded around a salad buffet and pizza bread.
I also, too, where do we land on the like proposal should be a surprise, I feel like to some degree.
Sure.
But also at the same time, like you should really, in my opinion, know the answer before you're getting ready
I think so too.
To propose.
Especially if you're doing it in public.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you are not 100% absolutely certain that your partner will say enthusiastically yes to your proposal, A, I think we should double back and ask the question about whether we're ready for a proposal. B, definitely we should take a pause before doing something like the Jumbotron or proposing in a restaurant or like whatever. I personally, and also... This is another thing, too, that if your partner is not one for like a big public spectacle like that, you should know that and you should not do that to them because that is also hurtful to them. Essentially, what you're saying is like, I wanted this to be this way for me, which is that's what blows me away about the comments saying like she is being selfish.
So ungrateful.
Because she's saying this didn't feel like it was about us. It felt like it was about him. But the comments are saying that she's selfish because she wants it to be about her. But he clearly wanted it to be about him.
That is important to him because he was a child.
Yeah. So I don't understand how she's selfish for saying, I want it to feel like both of us when he's not selfish for saying that, like, I proposed in this place because it means something to me specifically.
Make it make sense.
I would understand if Sweet Tomatoes were like their first date, right? Or like a place that they had gone to together or like whatever, right? Proposals don't need to be fancy.
Yes, that'd be like me taking you to Wendy's.
Yeah.
like technically, like the first place we went but on a date.
I wouldn't even be that mad about that. I'd be like, fair enough. Like, this is kind of cute, like our love story started here. And so I want to start another chapter of our love story together here.
That's
whatever.
Cute.
Yeah, that's kind of sweet. Like, it's not that it has to be fancy, but just that like, that would be like me proposing to you at Taco Bell because I really liked it as a kid, but you didn't like Taco Bell when you were a kid.
Okay. I get I don't know what this has to do with me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this here of all places?
I also too, I don't know. I understand it would be devastating. It would be horrible for the dude. Yeah. But also to not have the
the wherewithal or like the awareness? Like
to bounce back because the comments being like, don't expect for him to ever propose again.
Oh my God. I know.
Like just do it in a way that's not like she clearly was like, this is just not the place.
Yeah. I feel like, especially because she expressly stated, like, I do very much want to marry you. This is not about that. I do want to marry you. And, like, this is just not the place,
Can this just not be it?
Yeah.
Are we assholes?
I don't think we're assholes.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I think we're just not misogynists, which is why we disagree with the Reddit comment section a lot. Oh, I don't get it. I'm sorry I don't.
Especially if you're like, okay, I just like, okay, you know what? That was kind of a weird take. Like, this has nothing, especially, she's clearly never been there before.
No.
So, like, really, what does this have to do with anything?
I just am so confused.
Also, why would you want Sweet Tomatoes as your, like...
I don't know. The other thing about it that's odd, too, is, like, because it was a childhood nostalgia for him, that I'm like, I mean, you were clearly here with your family and stuff then. So, like, the place that we're starting our, like, engaged love story part of our life or whatever is, like, sort of heavily flavored with, like, you being a kid and having... dinner with your family.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with me. It's giving mama's boy a little.
Oh, it is a little bit.
Maybe that's a reach, but
That might be a reach. But
I don't know. I think if it were me, I would feel really weird about it. I think there is just a lot happening there that's not good. Also, for what it's worth, like, yes, of course that's devastating. And I think like maybe even an apology about like, I'm really sorry that I was sort of put in this position to like embarrass you. I know that that was probably humiliating and I really did not mean to do that to you. Right. And we have to have a conversation though, because I do want to marry you and I do want to start that part of our life. That was not the place though.
Yeah.
So like, let's sort of work through this, you know? But if he's just going to like refuse to engage, then I don't think that's fair to say that like she's the one who fucked up.
It's crazy to think that people like to see themselves as soulmates. And then like that would be like the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying like that's not a hard thing to bounce back from by no means.
It's a big deal.
But also like,
but that's what undid your soulmate relationship.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
Like,
because if your soulmates,
your ego is more important than your relationship.
Yes, which is also, I think, kind of at the heart of why that is fucked up.
Yeah.
Because it was about him.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, he's centering himself in their relationship, and if it's not about him, then he's not open to it. Apparently, if he's really going to refuse to propose again. Also,
I can't imagine like that's not something that would be nice for your partner.
No.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get that.
Speaking of disagreeing with comment sections, though.
What do we have?
I have 2 TikToks that I want to show you.
2?
One is like the original video and the other one is a stitch to that video. So withhold judgment.
Okay, so we need to watch them all before we have any judgment.
Yes, but we're going to talk about this because...
Also, my allergies are just allergiesian.
That's fair. Allergiesian.
No, not that.
I've already seen them.
Okay.
So you can watch them.
Which one do I watch?
The first video.
Okay, watch
the one of the lady in a black top.
12 milli views. Okay.
I have realized that a common denominator with all the friends that I've kept throughout my life are the ones that kind of don't care. You didn't text me back for 3 weeks? It's okay, I got it. Sorry, I have to cancel. I don't care. It's all good. Girl, I don't care either. I love you. See you in 8 months. We'll catch back up like nothing. We can just sit on the couch and be on our phones and it doesn't even matter because we like being in each other's company. We live each other's energy. We just feed off of it. Those are the friendships that last. Like, those are my girls. Those are the friendships where when you leave, you feel, oh, my cup is full and it runneth over. They just fill up your cup and they fill your energy up and that's all you need. You don't need people making you feel good. Why didn't you text? Why didn't you do this? You hurt me. You didn't do this. That's hurt my feelings. I get it. Sometimes we have fights, but we fix it. We move on next. I don't know. Those are just the friendships that really last in my life. The ones that get it, and the ones that don't. And that's why I only have like 2 friends. But hey, it works.
Okay.
I'm very conflicted. But
hold judgment.
I'm holding.
Let me see the phone.
Did you screen record?
No, I'm sorry. Well, it's just a TikTok.
It's just a TikTok. I can hear it clearly. It's fine. It's fine. We didn't pause it either, so it's fine.
Do you want to screen record this one?
No, because we're gonna just talk through it, or I can just watch the whole thing, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it's the same woman with the top, but it's the middle of the second row.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Click that.
I know how TikTok works. I am very conflicted at the moment.
Same.
I'm curious to see what this other person's opinion will be.
You didn't text me back for 3 weeks? It's okay, I got it. Sorry, I have to cancel. I don't care. It's all good.
This video resonated with me to my core. I have a little story time. Let's set the scene. It's post-college. All my friends have graduated. I still have 1 class to take at home, so I don't have a job. I'm still taking classes. I have no money, yada, yada, yada. At the time, I did also just start dating a new guy, so I was seeing him a lot. Fast forward to 6 months after graduation, I haven't been able to see my really close girls from college, just because, again, broke, no money, new boyfriend. Whenever my boyfriend was around, he'd pay for me. So, like, I'd do things with him because it would be free for me, and as opposed to spending my own money, like, doing whatever. So, like, the girls would do things like go to Cooper's Hawk and do, like, a wine tasting. Well, I'm broke. I still am in college, and I literally have no job, no money. So I finally graduate and I have a graduation party. None of these girls show up at my party, which whatever. Again, I don't care. It's not a big deal. I understand they are in their careers. We're post-college, whatever. The next morning, I get a text from this one girl basically like breaking up with me as a friend. She tells me that she takes friendships very seriously, and she doesn't think that I have been like taking our friend relationship very seriously because I haven't seen her. She just like decided to reach out and tell me, not even just like stop reaching out to me and like whatever, felt the need to send me a text to let me know that she doesn't think I'm a good friend because I can't afford to do all these fancy stuff. This girl is also rich. She's got mommy daddy's money. So whatever. She calls me out because I can't afford, as a continuing college student, to go to Cooper's Hawk or anything like that. Also, mind you, these girls lived like 45 minutes away. Like this girl in particular, 45 minutes away. Gas costs money. I'm still in college, so I can't drive and go 45 minutes away there and back. Like, I don't know. It was just the craziest thing ever to me that this girl felt the need to text me to tell me that she takes her friendships very seriously. And because she hasn't seen me in a few months, that we can no longer continue our friendship. So just such a wild experience. And it just makes you so grateful for the friends truly who don't care. Like, I am so glad that I'm no longer friends with this girl, but it still just blows my mind that she felt the need to like do that. So shout out to wherever you are now. Hopefully you have just the best friends in your life.
I'm still conflicted.
Okay, tell me what your thoughts are. I don't want to influence your thoughts, so tell me what you think.
I think there's a fine line. I think good friendships shouldn't need a lot of effort or like.
Sure.
I think that's fair.
With that, yeah.
But I also feel like there's a difference between like not caring, don't care, and also like I'm not friends with you unless you do the reaching out and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. But also like maybe this is a neurodivergent thing, but if you're always canceling on me, then also I'm like, oh, you must not actually like me. But also might be a rejection.
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
a childhood thing too as well.
For me, it's also the thing of like I started dating this new guy, so I was hanging out with him a lot.
Yeah, I caught that too.
Now I don't have time to hang out with my friends because it's free. Voice memos, videos, FaceTiming.
Yeah.
Going to the park and sitting around, hanging out at each other's houses and sitting around, having a movie night.
Also just hanging out on the couch watching TikToks together and watching TV.
Yeah. Sending each other TikToks even. Like, spending time physically doesn't mean, or that's not like the whole encapsulation of a friendship. One of my closest friends is somebody that I've known since I was 4 years old. And we communicate like pretty infrequently, but like recently we've started trying to send each other little video messages. We like send each other updates on YouTube basically and just catch up about what's happening in our lives and what's going on. And before that, we would like send each other reels and TikToks, and we would, text each other and, memes and whatever, right? We are generally speaking relatively communicative, even though we don't necessarily communicate all the time
or in person.
And we don't necessarily spend time in person
at all.
But there's no part of that friendship where I have felt like cast aside or discarded or like they don't care. I just think that's odd.
I feel like everyone here is kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Actually.
There are like little bits of it that I disagree with in like all of
But I also
that.
like at the same time, like I get it and I agree.
Yes.
I think not making a big deal about everything, like if you're genuinely having to cancel and stuff all the time.
Yeah. That's fine.
I get it not being a big deal. Like it is.
Sure.
I also think I just don't have a friend group like these people probably have.
Sure.
Also,
like the girls group, the big group. Yeah.
Also like femme friendships are entirely different than dude friendships.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, friendships.
Like the socialization.
Yeah.
Socialization. Yeah, a lot of shiz in there.
I do think that there is something to be said for friends that kind of don't care in the sense that, like, we're busy and it's cool. Like, we're not going to take it personally when somebody falls off the face of the earth for a few weeks or whatever. But I don't think it is a healthy expectation to say, like, I'm just never going to talk to you. But when I want to reach out to you, then you should just like be available, like be on call for when I'm ready. That's dysfunctional, in my opinion. I'm so sorry.
And again, too, I want to, like, I'm by no means an expert on friendships, clearly.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think, yeah, like, even with one of my good friends, like, we just send a snap a day. Like, sometimes we don't communicate for weeks.
Yeah.
And we just keep our little streak going to let each other know we're good, you know?
Yeah.
But, like...
But I think that's the thing, is that, like... not being able to go to physical things, especially if they're expensive, not being able to drive places because gas costs money and all of that, or because you're busy, right? That's different than not hearing from somebody at all.
I also sometimes wonder on those friend groups and stuff like that, if like we're basically paying for the picture. We're paying for the picture for Instagram. We're paying for the TikTok.
Yeah.
To make sure we're included.
Yeah.
The FOMO.
Of like not wanting to be left out.
Yeah, I guess. Or like those group, like, because we always ask that, like, how do these people go on these trips?
Yeah.
And have like friends who can afford things, friends with time, friends with jobs that they can take
that have
time
PTO,
off.
yeah.
You know, like
how is that happening? That's like a large, that's a lot of variables.
Yes.
That are aligning, which I think is really interesting.
It is interesting.
But I don't know
enough.
I just don't. I think just sort of like circle back to the beginning, like the first video. I do think that especially like in adult friendships, sort of like post, like leaving your parents' house or like,
sure, yeah,
having to like pay your own bills and all of that kind of stuff. There is something to be said for like, we're just busy and, we don't necessarily have to communicate all day, every day. Yeah. That's fine. We're not like getting together every week on a Saturday to go out drinking.
No, totally.
That's like a very fair expectation, I feel.
Yeah.
And the like, everyone should just stop caring about being like blown off by your friends.
Yeah.
It's really rude to me.
I think too, like we do the thing, especially like millennials, I feel like, where we protect our safety
a little too much.
We protect
sometimes.
our peace too much.
Yeah.
But like also, if I had $1, like I could go through my phone right now and I probably have about 10 messages where I'm the last person to respond and just nothing for years.
Yeah.
Like, that's not
rude.
caring. That's not giving a fuck.
Yes.
Like those are not
those are different.
Like canceling.
Yes.
Canceling and be like, oh, it's totally fine. Like it happens. Like I've never had someone cancel on me, dates, friends, whatever. And even if they're lying, like I don't care. Like I'm like I really don't care. If you make an effort to like reschedule and stuff, literally doesn't matter. I don't care. You could cancel on me 55 times. I don't like.
It's fine.
Like,
but if you're the friend who only is ever canceling and you also make no effort at rescheduling the thing,
reaching out
after you've had to cancel, then like you're kind of a fucking jerk, actually.
I feel like definitely like that is a problem.
Yes, I think there's there's an aspect of like hyper individualism there that is like so obsessed with like we don't owe each other anything. Mm-hmm. Like yes, the fuck we do.
I feel like like it's cool to care. Like it's just the thing too. Where, like the person in the relationship has the most, who cares the least, has the most power.
Yeah, which sucks. And that doesn't make you cool. It makes you an asshole.
Yes,
that just makes you mean. Actually,
I also feel
like not a community oriented person.
Yeah. Also too, I feel like it's a thing. Also that woman though, like I love having friends like that, and she's like, I have 2 friends.
I know.
I guess I can't like.
Yeah. No. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with the thing of like quality over quantity. You know, I don't necessarily want like a big friend group of people where like we go on a girls trip and we all secretly hate each other's guts. Like that sounds terrible. But the like, I don't give a fuck about anything. And then like, you're so weird for telling me that you don't want to be my friend anymore. Like,
do we like,
I don't think that's that weird.
Do we like that or we don't like that?
I think it's a little much.
I think like I understand the closure.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I'm like, it's not an airport.
Yeah, that's true. I think for me, because I tend to be like an over communicator.
Yeah, sure.
That I'm like, I think it's like, I would appreciate if somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, it's just not working. Bye.
But also too, I feel like in a way too, like if you haven't hung out, you haven't talked or spoken, like you can kind of fucking figure it out.
No, that's
fair.
fair.
Too, you know?
That's true.
Or like if this wasn't a standard in your relationship previously.
Yeah. That's true.
Or like the typical going like...
Yeah. Like how you guys handle things.
Yeah.
That's fair. There is something a little pretentious about reaching out to somebody and being like, just so you know.
There is something a little...
I'm firing you.
It's like giving Mean Girls a little bit.
Yeah.
It does seem like something...
That's true.
Yeah.
Because there is like a sort of condescension there of like, I take my friendship seriously.
Yeah.
Which I do think that other person was being kind of an asshole, especially because it's like...
Which one?
I have time to spend time with my boyfriend kind of a thing.
Yeah, because like also
that's a very like...
Because also that's a friend group thing too, though. Is like we're happy to like that's a trope too. Where like we're happy to hang out down for the team, and then as soon as someone gets a boyfriend girlfriend, never hear from them again.
Yeah,
Like,
which has happened to me and is such a button.
well, and also too, it's like so transactional. Like you view
Yes.
this friendship as like, or this friend group as a way to occupy your time,
Yes.
as a way to fill up.
I
until something
essentially
else.
am relief from your boredom.
Yes.
But not because you want to spend time with me
Yes.
specifically.
Yes.
You just don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you have something that you think is more interesting to occupy your time, now all of a sudden you don't have time for me.
Yes.
Which is a super fucking rude thing
That's
to
kind
do,
of
I think.
that's fucked up.
And like, in fairness, I think I'm probably more annoyed about it because that has happened to me.
Sure.
So I'm probably like projecting my own biases and whatever.
I wouldn't even have really picked out the boyfriend part, but like,
I just think that's very loud, personally.
I also too, I just hate the like, I understand being poor and not having money and stuff to do
Yes, of
whatever.
course.
But also too being like, oh yeah, I'm dating my boyfriend now, and so like I get
Yeah.
that, but also just the way she said it was like, hanging out with my boyfriend is free,
Yeah.
or like doing stuff with my boyfriend, because the connotation there, like,
Spending time with your friends is also free. Because can we just talk about
Yeah.
the fact that you could just reach out to your friends and say like, hey, I'm poor, right? I can't go to whatever this expensive
Yeah.
thing is. So do you want to just FaceTime instead? Or like, I don't have enough gas money to get to your house this week, but if you have the time and you want to drive to my house, then like we can have, a movie night, or I can make brunch for us, or we can just sit and watch TikToks on the couch together, But it's like the lack of offering, I think, that is bothersome. And to be fair, we don't know if that person
I know
offered
we're
that
also
or not.
creating. Also, I'm fine. Let's create. It's like people watching.
Yeah,
We're
this is
people
not
watching.
necessarily about that person specifically. I'm not
Sure.
trying to like character assassinate a perfect stranger, but I just think like the sort of trend that is happening right now of like we don't owe each other anything,
Yeah.
and so like
Yes.
we should not have to try to maintain relationships is a really bad take.
I also too like 45 minutes is not short, but it's not long. It's not unsurmountable. Like I drive.
One of my friends here in town lives 35 minutes away from us.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think.
I don't know. I don't think
It's not
that's that big of a
great.
deal.
But yeah, I don't think that's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
An hour, like,
Well, especially if you're taking turns, right?
yeah.
Like I will drive over to your house and then next time you come to me,
Yeah.
Or
I don't-
like I will come pick you up and you can come hang out at my house, Or like I will pay for your Uber, or I'll like throw you some gas money if you're coming to my house,
Yeah. I feel like it's with any relationship though, like as long as you're communicating. Like I also too
If
don't
your friend
think-
is rich and has money but you can't drive to come see them, then be like, hey, can you just like, 'cause since I drove to your house the last 3 times, can you just Venmo me like $10?
Yeah, and I know I joke a lot about like cutting people out pretty surgically and stuff or whatever, and like because I can, but also too a lot of times it really is just from a place of like, okay, let me just like like I'm not doing it in a manipulative way, but just sometimes you realize you're like, oh, if I stop talking, then does this conversation like
End.
yes, and
Yeah.
like are we having a good time? Because like ever since we figured out like did we have a good day? That's
Yeah.
the rules to live by.
Yes.
that shit applies to everything.
Was this actually a good date or a good conversation
Or
or a
did
good
I-
hang, or am I just good at talking?
Yes. Am I good at because the
Yeah.
fear of being awkward
Yeah.
in public socially feels like making me want to rip my skin off, so I will do anything.
Yeah. And so then we both had fun because I'm just really good at making sure
Yeah.
our conversation doesn't die.
Yeah.
That's not the same. That doesn't make somebody an actual good friend.
I also too like I think especially for me too, just because like man relationships are such like let's go to watch this screen and then drink and talk shit.
Yeah.
And like I do like that sometimes, but like also I don't know, like at the end of the day it's like
You know what's funny about that though?
oh well tell me.
Sometimes
Is it
in,
actually funny?
well, it's like sort of, it's not funny, haha, but it's like funny, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In the sort of vignette of like, we're just going to be silly girlies and in a gender neutral way, obviously.
Of course.
We're going to get a nice coffee and watch some TikToks and yap.
Yeah.
Not all that dissimilar from we're going to sit together and drink beer and watch sports.
Actually
but the
not different at all.
feeling is way different.
Way different.
There's something about it that is just like not the same. I think there is like a lack of emotional intimacy
Okay.
in the sort of like archetype male hang of like, let's get together and watch sports,
Yeah.
Because there's like not actually talking about anything of material sometimes. Does that feel true?
I was driving the other day and there was 2 men at a bus stop, 2 like older men, and they're just like yapping away. They looked like they
Sure.
were talking, and I was like,
Cute.
I cannot ever imagine just sitting and talking to a stranger like that. But also, it looked like they were both
Yeah.
having good conversation.
But honestly though, sometimes I am that person. I won't lie.
Sometimes it's so funny to me how much easier it is. It's just the stranger thing. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's totally easier
Yeah.
to just have a random conversation with a stranger about shit.
I like just chatted with some dude at the grocery store yesterday while I was looking for chips.
About what? Were you cheating on me, basically?
Totally.
Why don't you just marry him?
No, I was getting chips to go over to my friend's house. I was
Yeah.
grabbing chips and dip and stuff. And I was looking at the chip options because I'm an asshole. I'll pick up the bags and like see if one feels like it has more than the other.
I mean, they do that, so I feel like
They
that's
do.
fair.
So I was like looking at the bags and some dude was like, oh, I wish I could wear overalls because I was wearing my little shorteralls. He was like, I wish I could wear overalls. They seem like really comfy. And I was
you
like,
can.
yeah, I was like, yeah, you should get some. They're really comfy. And he was like, I don't even know if they make them like that. And I was like, Google is free. You should look.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And he was like, haha, yeah, that'd be funny. And I was like, no, seriously, like, get some overalls. It could be, I like them. I think
Hell
they're great.
yeah.
And just like,
Punk, you made small talk.
yeah. But like, honestly, that's why I said sometimes I kind of am that person. Like, I'm kind of good at that.
Who
I
are
just
you
don't
when you're
really,
not with me?
I just don't really like doing it.
That's fair.
So if I'm with you,
Yes, like if I have
then
to,
I'm like,
of course.
you know, yeah. But in a situation where like, especially if somebody says something to me, then I'm like,
Oh, sometimes
okay.
like, don't talk to me. Don't say anything.
yeah, we'll have a nice little chitty chat, you know?
It's so wild to me how my brain, I'll be like, it's like fuck you, don't bother me. Fuck you, don't bother me. And someone says, hey, how's it going? Hi, how's it going?
Hey,
Hi.
oh my gosh.
I don't mean to too. And I think it throws people
so
off, but I'll
real.
say like the way I like say hello or like I greet someone or something, I'll say it in like, I don't mean to do this, but I say it in like the most like friendly way. And it's like very inviting.
You can't help
and
it.
sometimes people start talking and I'm like, whoa, I didn't mean it like that. I was just being fucking nice. I was just being
didn't
nice.
want
Go fuck
this.
yourself. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Same.
But yeah, like my brain, like I'll just have all this stuff and sometimes I'm like, Aaron, who's that talking? Who's that even talking right now? Customer service kicks on.
It's the customer service voice.
1-800-collect.
You kind of can't help it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have a similar problem where we both are like very warm when we greet people.
Yeah.
Which then turns into a conversation. You're like, oh.
God, I want to be social today.
Why did I mean it like that?
I wish I was a little armadillo and I could just.
No. I'm just trying to be nice to
Yes.
you, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the friend thing.
I just think that there is something to be said for being more intentional about like fostering community or like being in community.
Yeah.
You know? And I think sometimes it's kind of funny because there are people who are part of, you know, like Gen Z, millennials, right? We tend to be people who are more politically motivated towards progressivism and things like that.
Yeah.
And a tenet of that is being in community.
Yeah.
Right? Like fostering our involvement in the community, actually participating in community, not just like politically, but just generally, right? Like talking to strangers,
Yeah.
getting to know your neighbors, like that kind of stuff. But then also at the same time, we'll turn around and say things about how like, well, I don't owe anybody anything. And, you know, if my friends want to be friends with me, then they have to come to me, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it very much an energy of like, I don't want to have to make any sacrifices or put in any effort to maintain these relationships,
Yeah.
which is fucking backwards. Like, I don't understand
Yeah.
how you can hold like a
okay.
sort of like progressivism,
Yeah,
community,
yeah.
unity, all of this stuff. But then also like, I don't want to be in community though.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to try. I think community should just come to me.
I also
That's not how it works, babe.
I think for me a lot too of it is, especially because it just keeps fucking happening.
Hmm.
Where like now I'm like, oh, did you vote for Trump? Are you a fucking bigot? Are you a piece of shit? Especially when it's white people.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't fucking.
what's wrong with you?
Don't come like until I'm proven. I said it today. That old woman that was walking by, and I was like, I'm pretty sure you live in one of the houses with a fucking Trump sign.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not gonna be fucking cordial to you. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be nice. I'm not gonna make small talk.
Which is fair. I feel like that's different.
No, and that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
too. But like sometimes when you can't tell, then I'm like, I feel like, well, I just wasted my niceness points on you.
Yeah,
like I used
that's
I
valid.
used my nice fuel.
I know I'm using up all of my social battery.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
no, like I'm going to be rude to you.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
But I think, yes, I feel like that's different though, because
Okay.
sometimes there are moments where like somebody will invite you to something, right? Like we got invited to a game night.
I don't like game night. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like not super your thing.
Oh yeah.
And we talked about it and we were like, well, we like almost all of the people that were going. We don't know some of them, but like we're going to go, you know,
Yeah.
and like maybe it will surprise us. And I really feel like it's going to be more fun than you think it is. But like that's what I'm saying though,
Okay.
right? Like there are these moments where sure, maybe if it were like up to our social anxiety, we would just be like, no, I don't want to go.
I don't think I'll be doing
but
that.
part of being in community and wanting to develop friendships and relationships and deepen friendships that you already have is being like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the thing. And sometimes it works out great, right? Like I went to those astrology classes. I asked my friend to go with me and they couldn't afford it at the time. And I was like, all right.
Oh, you were so brave. You were so brave.
Go. And
Yes.
I went and had so much fun. And the friend that I went and hung out with earlier this week was somebody I met through there.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, that's what I'm talking about. It's just that, like, I think sometimes we have to make the choice to do the thing that is a little inconvenient or a little uncomfortable to sort of like, to actually be in community.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Not that I'm, by no stretch of the imagination am I like the fucking police of who's in community or not. Because I also am like a literal recluse. I don't leave my house like ever.
It's comfy. It's cozy there.
I'm also just anxious.
Also,
and
you work a lot. You work from home. You work
and like
you haven't really set yourself up for
low-key a little bit agoraphobic at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like, I'm not trying to police anybody.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that in the moments where I have been able to like be brave and do the thing that is like a little inconvenient, maybe, that sometimes it pays off.
No, totally. No, I think you're right. And I think that's something too I see like recommended a lot too is like go to a thing, like a hobby related thing.
Yes.
Don't even have to say anything. Just go. Yeah. And someone said like in 3 to 4 weeks, you will probably have talked to a couple people.
Yeah.
Like just by being familiar.
Exactly.
Showing up, consistency.
Yeah. One of my other friends, I don't want to name who they are because I don't know if they want me to talk about this, but one of my other friends was talking about
these could all be just made up people. We just use
these are all our girlfriend goes to another school.
You just
you wouldn't know her.
You wouldn't know her.
No, one of our other friends was talking about going to a game night at like a local game store.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like working on social anxiety and just being brave.
You really do have to practice. You got to practice it. Like it's really.
Yeah. But they went and they were like, honestly, it was really fun.
Oh, I love that.
I know. And I was like, yay.
That's how I felt about going to that gym that my friend invited me to.
Yes.
I was like, I don't want to go. And everyone was so nice and welcoming. Yeah. And
you had such a good time.
Oh, and like I'm a pretty like I've become. I was a gangly fucking uncoordinated fuck growing up.
Yeah. You're so really cute.
But now like I do pretty good. And but I had to get some because I don't do kettlebells and stuff like that really.
Sure.
But I had to get like not trained, but like
some pointers about form.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
in the middle of the class.
Yeah.
And like everyone just kept doing their thing. Initially, I was like, "Oh my god, I want to rip my skin off. I don't want to be here. Everyone's staring at me.
So embarrassing."
Yes, but like no, everyone's just doing their workout. Yeah. No one gives a fuck.
Fine.
Like also, it was in the sake of like me not throwing out my fucking back. So like, love the tips.
For your own good.
I don't know if I told the story or not, but like working out, do all this shit, whatever, go to take a shower, bend over a little bit to grab the soap weird, fucking pull my back. Like, if that's not just the most 30-plus-year-old thing I ever heard in my whole goddamn life.
Oh, pumpkin. Like, I know.
But you name it, I can do it. But like,
pumpkin, I feel that.
You just look at something a little bit funny, a little bit weird.
Yeah. Okay, but that's also why, like, recently I have been more into like, okay, I want to develop some functional strength because I will not throw out my back
that one
or
time
fuck
you did,
my shoulders
for
up
weeks.
Well, while we're moving,
oh god, no,
I cannot.
No.
I had the realization that like we're probably gonna have to load stuff in and out of this like moving truck or a pod or whatever the fuck, and I was like, my muscle definition is not where it was. So I just want to be able to be functionally safe in my body. Yeah. You know?
It is kind of a safety thing.
Shit like that happens sometimes where I'm like, oh my God.
It doesn't even matter. That's the thing too, like you can take all the precautions you fucking want.
Yeah.
And like
I'm like,
sometimes you just do something funky.
I know. I'm like, should I buy a back brace thing for
when
like
very official. Lift with your knees.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. We did talk about hiring movers and stuff too, but it's so expensive.
I know. But also to the part of me where we're like, we can do it on our own. We'll fucking do it ourselves.
Every time that we've ever moved, we did it ourselves with the help of friends and family in some cases.
Yeah,
but
we cut down a lot on that though. So
yeah, the most recent move that we did though, you basically moved everything from one house to the next.
We moved across the street. So I had one box. That was my emotional support box, and we just filled that shit up. Thank God we had way less stuff.
Yeah. Well, do you remember though? Okay. Do you remember moving our dresser, the big one that's in our room?
Yeah, of course I do. We bought those spindliest, wombliest, fucking Ed looking ass rollers.
Okay. You know how I know that we were way poorer then than we are now.
I can think of a lot of different things, but how?
Because you know the little furniture dollies, right? That's just, it's 4 little pieces of wood and it has like 2 little carpeted bits,
Oh,
right?
yes, yeah.
And there's like little wheels underneath, right?
Oh,
we
yeah.
saw one at Harbor Freight and I can't remember how much it cost. I think
don't
it was
know.
like
I was being such a
40,
Scrooge
it was like $35, $40 maybe $50.
Because I was like, that's dumb.
And well, because we were like, we really do not need to be spending money on that. Like we have to break our lease in this other place. And like, just, we're like stressing to try to get like the carpets cleaned and all this stuff. Because when you move out of a rental, you have to pay cleaners and whatever the fuck. So we were like, it's fine. We found these other things that were these teeny tiny little metal. They were literally like this big. It was like a little metal triangle and it had a wheel on the bottom. Really what they're meant for is to screw them on the underside of a cabinet or something so that you can make it like wheelie. But we were like, that'll be fine. What we're going to do, we'll just take these little wheelie things and we'll pop them under the feet of this dresser.
The feet of the dresser are round. So like in theory would
and
fit
it did
nice.
have like a little divot in there. However, we did not account for the fact that we have to go over sidewalk with cracks in it and across an asphalt street.
That thing was just...
Well, we would get 2 inches and then one would fall off and it would and like scrape. The bottom side of that dresser is still fucked from all the asphalt scraping into the bottom of it. Yeah. But we were like so pissy. Like, will you lift your side up? And well, I can't do it because the fucking wheel fell off. And just like 2 inches at a time. Our neighbors, I'm confident, they were just like, looking out the window.
I would have been too.
Look at these chuckle
Also,
fucks.
what a fucking crazy ass... But also stupid to hire a moving truck to go from literally
that's dumb.
2 houses down.
Yeah.
But also, like...
And also, it was because we didn't want to take the stuff out of the dresser.
And also,
so it was way heavier with all the clothes in it and shit.
And also, we moved in the fuck ass middle of summer, so I probably made 60 trips back and forth.
So hot.
Like, why did I use one box? Why did I not have anything with wheels?
Why did you not use the dolly? Did we have a dolly at that point?
I don't think we had a dolly at that point.
Probably
no.
not. We just like it was like we did everything hard mode.
Just raw dog
for no reason.
Caveman.
Yeah.
Make stick. Just. No sense.
No sense.
Nonsensical.
None
well,
whatsoever.
Yeah, because also by the time we were done, we had like $100 left.
Yeah.
We were toast.
We could not.
We had no idea what it cost.
No.
That was dumb.
It's expensive.
Everything, yeah.
Like
it was cheaper then.
The whole like surprise costs of moving in and all of that were like it was really stressful.
Yeah, we did not plan, and that's privilege. And honestly, yeah, that's privilege.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, that is one thing that makes me anxious about moving. Actually, is that we can't do what we have done in previous moves where...
How do you move across the country?
Well, because you have to move it all at once.
That's crazy.
Now, like when we moved here, it was so like, final. We'll just make a couple of trips, right? Like we have a friend with a truck or we'll call somebody's dad and just load some of the shit in the back.
Just get it in a trailer.
Yeah, and it's fine.
Yes.
The biggest move that we've ever done was from Phoenix to Tucson. And even that, we needed like your car, my parents' car, and your dad's car.
Yeah.
And we did get everything. Yeah. And I think somebody brought a trailer or something.
I think my dad did.
Yeah, I think your dad loaded his truck and the trailer.
Yeah.
And we were able to get all of my furniture and like my bullshit from my apartment and your shit and like move it. But like even then though, if we had not had space, we would have just driven back and forth. It would have sucked, but we would have just driven back and forth. But this, like, there's no driving a 24-hour drive twice. No one's doing that. I mean, so you have to ship all of that shit.
Can you believe we've lived in the same place for 30 years and like technically, so what, 12 adult years?
Yeah. That's
30
nuts.
human years and 12 adult years.
Yeah. I cannot believe that.
That's nuts.
You know
we
what?
Don't know anything else.
I know. That's also why I'm kind of excited about it, though.
I think it's going to be good for us.
I feel like it would be fun. I'm not excited about moving to a place with such piss poor politics and that is like genuinely hostile to our existence. Yeah. However, I am optimistic about our opportunity to have like a little bit of a fresh start and just like see something, you know, like I want to live some life. I want to do some things.
We're definitely going to be living.
Yeah.
We're going to be living.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if anybody has tips, helpful hints about how to move fucking plants, please let me know.
I don't know. We became
plant gays while living here, and now we don't know how to move them.
We're like, because everything we bought, we're like, oh, well, we're not going anywhere, so what's it fucking matter?
We have a ginormous Swiss cheese plant, and I do not know what to do with it.
That one will be fine. I feel like the bigger plants will be easier because they're hardy.
Yeah,
right?
but it's big. So I'm like, what are we supposed to do with it?
I don't know.
And Phoebe, our big giant pothos, like, what are we supposed to do? Is it pothos or pothos?
Pothos.
I always say it wrong.
I can't.
I overthink it.
I can't tell if you've been saying it wrong or because normally I default to the way you say things.
Pothos. So it is pothos.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
pothos.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I overthink things. I'm so sorry, but I don't know what to do with all these plants that are like all big and gangly.
I
And
feel like we can just.
No,
I
yeah,
feel like
but
the
like,
plants are gonna be okay.
am I supposed to put it in the pod? Surely not.
It's
gonna be hot
Well,
in
how do they
there.
transport plants? Because it's not like all the plants that are in the stores are, but also they put that serum in them.
Well, and they also are like not really taking an L if they die
No,
because they're not emotionally attached to them.
No. But they're monetarily attached.
Sure, but if like one or two die,
But also,
You
wasn't
know?
that thing where they put like stuff in the soil to make them look a lot better in the store, and then
Do they?
yeah, I think that's a real thing. There's like something that's like a concoction, or
like
I
fertilizer
think that's a
or
real
something.
thing. Yeah,
I believe you. I just have never heard of that.
I'm trying to think of.
Yeah. So, anyways, I guess the point of that is that if you guys have tips or tricks about how to move plants, please let us know
Yes.
because we're pretty good at moving other stuff.
Stuff that doesn't live.
Yeah. Plants are a little
The girls will be fine,
stressful.
obviously, but
Yeah. Our pets are different. That is going to be.
I'm not looking forward to that. I'm sure we'll have plenty of stories to tell about that.
Yeah. We have the last time the cats were in the car,
That was
one
the
of them-
first and the last time.
one of them shit and had like an explosive. It was terrible.
I can't tell if they had diarrhea before.
Or if it was
Or-
stress diarrhea.
yeah.
I think it was stress diarrhea.
Oh God.
We need to figure out how to get a travel litter box. Yeah, I'm curious to see. The nice thing about it actually is that we just have to do it one thing at a time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, we just sort out one detail, figure out how we're doing that, and then we just
Yeah.
do the next detail and sort of.
In a way, it's been kind of nice. I feel like we wouldn't have done it any differently, but
Hmm.
it's been nice that it did kind of happen suddenly.
The move?
Yeah, because now
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, it's just time to do it. Like,
Yes.
Let's just go.
Yeah.
You know?
And especially because we're good under pressure.
We do.
This
we
is our
do
Olympics.
well under pressure.
We're
Yeah.
really good at this.
Yeah. I'm interested to see
We
how the driving
function
goes,
really
but
well as a team to solve problems.
We're gonna get little talkies, little walkie-talkies.
Yeah. I'm very
I think that'll be
excited
fun.
about that.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fun to talk to each other while we're driving,
See,
obviously.
we'll be like, we have to do trucker. We should make trucker names.
Yes.
Oh, I'll be Big Dog, obviously.
Yeah. Although we'll have to be careful not to accidentally be on like any of the trucker.
Let's get two-way. We're not getting CB radios.
Listen, I'm just being clear.
No.
Because I know that happened to somebody and they were really mad.
They can be mad about it. What do you mean they were really mad?
Like the truckers yelled at them and then were like driving kind of hostile.
Were they
Yeah.
being dicks?
No.
How would they know what vehicle it was?
It's a long story. I'll explain it later when we're off camera.
Oh, okay.
But it was.
This is people we know?
Yes. It was a little.
I'm so
stressful.
interested to see who it is.
You know who it is.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll explain it later.
Yeah.
But we just, I think, should be mindful of that.
Yeah, of course. I was just thinking about getting some little fucking bullshit two-way ones.
Yeah.
That just
We
between
could
you
also
and
use
me.
like Voxer or something.
I'm not having my phone on the whole time. What if I want music on or something?
That's true. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
We'll
imagine?
go old school.
CDs?
No, old school handheld walkie-talkies.
Oh, yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah.
That's what
looking
I'm
some
agreeing
up.
with
As soon
you.
as this episode's over, I'm looking them up.
Hell yeah. But yeah, if you guys have moving tips or other helpful hints, please leave those in the comments because we would love that, honestly. I think we've done enough ranting today.
I just realized we have like probably the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you guys for being here listening.
And that's fine.
If you made it to this, you're a real one.
Yeah. Thanks for being part of our community.
Thank you.
Thanks for being
This
brave.
is what we do. We're just sharing. We're
Yeah.
just sharing.
That's the point of the pod, and I'm fine with that.
We unpacked
Which, by
it.
the way, yeah, this is called We Should Unpack This. I'm Mickey, and that's Aaron.
If they got to this point, does it matter anymore?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
think it does. I think it's good. It's good practice. We should do that.
We're going to
more.
get it right one day.
Maybe.
Probably not today.
No, definitely not today. Okay, we're going to go. We love you guys very much. Please don't forget to like the episode and leave us reviews and also subscribe.
please.
We're trying to get to 200K because you guys keep asking me to sell stickers.
But-
and we do have a sticker shop, but
they
they're
won't.
not as fun as I would like them to be. So if we get to
They can be more
200K, then I should be able to sell stickers in the merch shop that we already
Yay.
have. So subscribe. That would be nice. Okay, we love you all very much, and we'll see you guys for the next one.
Bye.